Yeah, so part two. This is the same testimony, by the way. So where did I finish? So yeah, they've arrested me now, and yeah, they've arrested me and said, yeah, we arrest you for robbery with a weapon. So obviously I'm like, cool in my head, but I'm like, huh? Go to the police station. I'm in a cell. I think that was a Wednesday evening. I don't come out till Friday morning when I go to court. And obviously, court was like, it was just a bail hearing. So yeah, I was on bail for the duration of the case. So yeah, what's it? The conditions of bail where I couldn't contact the victim. I don't know if I'm Adam, so I'm not gonna contact him. Can't contact my bedroom. And yeah, I'm only allowed out from 7 a.m. till 7 p.m. If I step outside those times, like if I go out before 7 a.m., if I'm still out after 7 p.m., yeah, tag starts ringing off. The machine that's in my yard starts ringing off. So yeah, I was put on tag. So yeah, I could only be out for what, 12 hours. So yeah, obviously those times I was um I was going to college. So yeah, and what's so funny, and this is so funny. What's so funny is that I had failed. So let me explain the whole thing. So this year was 2010. I left secondary in 2008. So obviously I was supposed to start college that same year, 2008 to 2009, which I started, but I dropped out at the start of 2009. So then I had to start again in 2009. So obviously 2 years college. So 2009 to 2010, 2010 to 2011. So this was the first year of the new college. So 2009 to 2010. So summer going into the next year. That's when this whole thing happened in that summer. So what happened was I was actually failing first year. I actually failed first year of college. I failed. But it's so mad. Like, this is why I always say God's mercies are crazy, innit? Obviously, the guy that put me onto the course that time, it's mad. He knew my uncle, he knew my family in it, and then he was like, "Yeah, maybe I should do this course." Because I remember when I dropped out of the first college I went to, I didn't know what I was gonna do. My brother said, "Yeah, come to this college with me." He went there, and you know that when you go to college, I don't know if it's the same now, but back in the day, it's like, when it's like there's no more spaces and it's like the last day you're trying to get into any course. I went and done like BTech IT. So yeah, and then yeah, the guy was like, yeah, he'll take me on because he knew my name and he knew my surname, knew my uncle, whatever, whatever. And then boom, so I was doing an IT course, BTech level 3 diploma, whatever, whatever. So it's mad. Like when I came back to college, obviously I was on tag. I didn't really tell the teachers. I didn't really tell nobody. I didn't want nobody to know. Um, all the students in the class sat us down, and then yeah, told us who passed, told us who failed, and obviously um all the people that were like failing or failed, he kept behind. All the people that passed, he let go. Like he told them, yeah, you can go now. Like we're gonna start next week, whatever, whatever. They went. So then it was me and all the people that were failing, all the people that failed. So it was one of them ones where a couple people he let stay. I was one of the people he let stay, and then a few other people was like, yeah, nah, you have to go. So I just wanted to add that in there to be like, raw, like big man thing. Like there were some people failing, you kept them on, but I was one of the people that actually failed. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So the people that were failing, he kept them on, but he didn't really tell. He didn't really tell everybody there all together at the same time. Do you know what I'm trying to say? It was one of them ones where he would like he would just tick off the people that were failing. He said, yeah, you can stay on. The people that failed, he said, you're gone. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And then he kept me behind. And that's when I found out. He was like, oh, you're one of the people that failed, but I'm going to keep you on. That's when I was like, rah, what's going on? So obviously at that point, because I was like, had a court case, whatever. I was trying to live my best life. When I say live my best life, I was trying to be the best person I could ever be. Before that, I didn't want to do education. I just wanted to sell drugs, make money, sleep with girls, blah, blah, blah. I didn't care. But then when that happened, me nearly going to prison, all that madness, I wanted to change my life. I said, I'm going uni, all this stuff. In the first instance, I didn't really want to do it because I wanted to change my life. It was more out of fear. I didn't want to go to prison. So because I wanted to create a good story and make it look like I was a good student and whatever. I tried to make sure, like, I was serious in life. Obviously, that's fast forwarding. Going back to when I was arrested, interviewing me every day, all this madness. They gave me one. They gave me one lawyer. Yeah, like legal aid and all that stuff. Gave me one lawyer. He came in the morning. He was like, "Yeah, man, no, man, your bedroom set you up, man. Your bedroom set you up, man. He said you're the ringleader." Blah blah blah. You know them guys that want to be down and that, innit? Like, so yeah, them guys that wanted to be down. So obviously he was Asian, and yeah, so yeah, Bear saying what he was saying. Cool, said all of that. That was done. Obviously, like I said, they were still interviewing me, Bear, and all this madness in it. And then eventually, long story short, I told my brother not to tell my mum in it. But the next day, when she didn't hear from me, obviously she didn't see me, but normally I was always out and about in it, but at least she would hear from me, like phone or whatever. When she didn't hear from me, she was like, "Nah, what's going on?" She asked my brother, she was like, "Nah, what's going on?" Like, she feels something. And she had a mad dream. My brother eventually told her, and then she called my auntie, who's a lawyer, and then she obviously called the police station up, blah, blah, blah. Told her I was there, all this stuff. Obviously, my auntie couldn't represent me in it because obviously same surname and that. Yeah. So yeah, my mum gave my auntie some clothes to give to the police to give me in it, which she gave them. Because obviously I'd caught in on Friday morning. Remember, I got arrested Wednesday evening. Friday morning, went straight to court for a bail hearing, magistrate's court. But they didn't give me the clothes. They didn't give me the suit or nothing. I guess they wanted, a black man in front of the judge looking like a hoodlum and all that. He fits the profile. Make me look bare, guilty and that. So cool. Went to court and that. Obviously, yeah. The judge read out what happened and all this stuff. Read out my co-defendant's name. Read out my name. Said this happened. Blah blah blah. Obviously, I can't lie. From what the judge was saying, it did sound like my brethren at the time, co-defendant, did try to stitch me up, snake me like the remember that lawyer I told you about, that legal aid lawyer. It seems like what he was saying was right, but later down the line, when obviously I now met with my solicitors and they're reading over all the transcripts from the interviews between him and the feds and that's not really what he said in it. So I don't know what happened there. I don't know who tried to make it look like he was snaking me or whatever, but I found out like after I read the transcript when the whole case was done and the solicitors gave me all the files. I still have the files to this day, all that stuff. I read it and it's like, nah, he didn't really say anything mad like that. Obviously at first I did think it because of what they were saying to me, but I didn't find out until obviously I saw the transcripts and that in it. So obviously bail hearing was done, put on tag 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Wasn't allowed out for 12 hours. Wasn't allowed out outside of 12 hours. So if I'm out before 7 a.m., if I'm out after 7 p.m., then obviously I was on tag. The machine in your house goes off, whatever, feds come, whatever, they'll send you straight to prison if you don't meet the bail conditions. I would have been on remand. So yeah, couldn't speak to my co-defendant, my brethren at the time. Couldn't speak to the victim. I didn't know the victim from Adam. I don't know why I'm gonna call him. Didn't even have his number. Whatever. Cool. So yeah, go about life now. Obviously, that was magistrate's court. I think, yeah, I don't really remember the levels because I haven't been involved in the whole court system for a minute, but I do remember that. Well, I'm vague. Hope I'm right. If I'm wrong, anyone can correct me. But I think it's magistrates is the lowest Crown Court is a bit higher. I think there's another thing or 2 levels after Crown Court. But the reason they didn't want to try me in magistrates is because the feds, they wanted to get me down for more years than as much years as possible. So in magistrates court, I think there's a maximum. I don't think I would have, even if I was found guilty, the maximum I would have got would have been a few years or something like that. That's why they wanted to try me at Crown Court. So the maximum I can get would be way more years, in it. So obviously, trial was set, in it. Well, not the trial date, but the trial started, and it was going to be in Crown Court, in it. Cool. So yeah, along that time now, kept going to court, bare days, kept going to court. Nothing was really happening, nothing was really sticking. Evidence, oh yeah, court has to be postponed, still gathering evidence, has to be postponed, still gathering evidence. Went up to the dock a couple of times with my co-defendant at the time. Judge would be reading out what's going on, reading out our names, where we're from, where we live, what happened on the day, when the crime happened, blah blah. Just every day the same. Every time we went, not every day, because not every day we went, but every time we were called to the court. It was just the same nonsense. Like nothing was really happening. Is there anything else the lawyers have for me today? And we're like, no, police are still gathering evidence, blah blah blah. Yeah, court is adjourned. Again, blood. So I'm just coming there for no reason, for bare long. Like literally, it happened from, well, trial started. Let's say I got arrested end of August, so trial started, let's say September, didn't end till March the 8th. Yeah. So like I said, solicitor was trying to get bare background information on me, trying to help my case, all this kind of stuff. The solicitor was calm. The 2 lawyers now that I had, 2 white lawyers, they were a bit moist, in it. Like they were really trying to find my case, in it. They're trying to say, yeah, black man with knife, like you can get this amount of years, blah blah blah, all this kind of stuff. They were trying, but when I say no, they weren't trying. They were like basically trying to say, yeah, they were like, oh yeah, if we get a deal, we should take it, all this kind of stuff. Don't know how far we can take it. Like we can't really fight for you, kind of thing. The guy said you have a knife, and you know how it is with black boys and the what's the statistics is, you get me, with the amount of black boys with knives, blah blah blah, they're likely gonna see a black boy and white defendant, yeah, well, white victim, sorry, yeah, you definitely had it. They're gonna definitely say you had a knife. If you didn't, it doesn't matter, kind of thing. So yeah, going back and forth. Eventually now, solicitor calls me in and says, yeah, but the police have a deal for you. So they've laid out a deal for you and your brethren. They're like, if you plead guilty to theft, remember they arrested me on robbery with a weapon, but they were like, if you and him plead guilty to theft, the highest is you'll have 5 years criminal record, and you will have to pay the victim for damages, and obviously for the laptop that he paid you lot for. And yeah, plead guilty to theft, criminal record, and pay back damages. Obviously, I was like, no, I'm not going to do this. Obviously, I already knew what we were going to do. I had the intention of robbing my man's, what we were doing a long time before this fateful day we got caught. But my thing was, the reason they're giving me this deal is because they're trying to say I committed a robbery with a weapon, and I didn't do that. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So I wasn't having it. I was like, no, I'm not going to accept. The lawyers, like I said again, like, you have to say, I'm telling you, like, you could get up to 12 years if you get found guilty, blah, blah, blah. They were not helping my case at all. Eventually, my mom was like, no, we're going to change lawyers, bruv. You know what I'm trying to say? But obviously, before that, we now go to court, and I think, obviously, my solicitors, I've already told my brethren at the time solicitors that I'm not going to agree. So, obviously, told my lawyers and that, so my brethren and I, well, brethren at the time at the dock, and then he's there saying, you're a puss, you're a mummy's boy, like whispering it to me, innit, when no one is listening, 'cause obviously I'm not going to say guilty. Obviously, I forgot to say as well, before that, obviously him and I are not allowed to contact each other. Obviously, we knew a couple of people. Obviously, we were around the same circle, innit, so there was a girl that we knew. Obviously, we knew a couple of girls, innit. There was a girl that we knew that, like, yeah, we were both close with, kind of thing. And she called me one time. Obviously, I'm thinking, yeah, it's her. Cool. Pick up. I'm like, yo, what's good? She's like, yeah, I'm good. You? I'm like, yeah, you saying? Blah, blah. She's like, yeah, no, I'm alright. Give me 1 sec, yeah. Cool. Next thing I hear is, yo, deep voice. I'm thinking, this guy's a kid, because I know who he is straight away. And then he's like, oh, why you not gonna agree to this thing, man? Come on, man. Like, stop being a puss, man. Stop being a puss, man. Agree to it, innit? I'm thinking, bro, I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I'm not gonna agree to it because man didn't commit no robbery or nothing. He's like, yeah, but it's only gonna be theft or whatnot, whatnot. Let's do this thing, move on with our lives. I'm like, I can't lie, my G. I'm going not guilty still. Then I lock off the phone. So obviously, fast forward to the day we're in court now, and he's saying that in the dock. Our lawyers now get up, and obviously his lawyer said, yeah, he accepts, and my lawyer said, I don't accept. And obviously, court had to be adjourned again, innit? Adjourned again, sorry, adjourned, not adjourned. Court had to be adjourned again, innit? Boom. So obviously, we now look for a new lawyer, because my mom's like, nah, them man are too, whatever, they're too pessimistic, blah, blah, blah. We find a lawyer, a woman in like Holborn size, innit? Black woman, and then she's bare fighting my case. She's like, yeah, man, like, and it could be anything, man. That day was a summer's day, right? Did you have anything reflective that day that it could have been, it could have looked shiny in his eyes, blah, blah, blah. Obviously, them days there, everyone was using Blackberries, and my Blackberry was that Blackberry with like the silver like linings on the side, the silver edges and the silver sides, and that bare shiny. So the sun touched it, could be a reflection. She was like, yeah, I can do this, I can say this, we can say this, and be like, this is what happened. Obviously, you know how lawyers are, innit? Like, they'll sell anything to a judge, innit? So, bare fighting my case, man. Obviously, yeah, I think I said already, I don't know if I did, but them times that I was going to church as well, innit? So, yeah, but regardless, I was still very negative, innit? Like, in the sense of thinking of what's going to go down. Like, deep inside, I was really like, yeah, accepting. I think I said this already. If I didn't, I'm saying it again. I mean, if I did, I'm saying it again. If I didn't, I'm saying it. But I had in my heart, like, yeah, I think I'm gonna go to prison. So I was calling up the man, them, who knows who's in pen, all this madness, and then man, they would just give me advice, whatnot, whatnot. And then boom, one day I was at college now, and like, obviously these are all the months past. So fast forward now. Obviously, I forgot to add during them times as well, when I was going college, proper trying to get my act together, doing all my work, applying for unis, whatever, whatever. I was still out here selling drugs. Mad. Still out here selling drugs. It's like, when I think about it, when you're young, you're just bare reckless. You don't use your head. Because I'm like, when I deep it now, imagine I'm on tag. Any little thing I do, if they catch me, I'm finished. I can go pen my case. Even if I didn't rob my man, they'll be like, bro, but you did rob my man, but you're a drug dealer. So how do I know you're not lying? It could have gone left. But obviously, God loves me, innit? Like, he loves everyone. And for that, he didn't let anything happen to me. But then, yeah, March the 8th now, this is far forward, all those months, those things are happening. My girl, I'm with her, whatever, whatever. She has to come see me, man, them have to come see me. Obviously, I can't be out at certain times. Like, my two bros, man, still chat to them to this day. T and B, you know what I'm saying? They had me, man. They were the only ones that came to see me all the time, lads. You get me? And yeah, obviously my ex at that time. Well, my girl at that time. She's my ex now. But yeah, so March the 8th now. It's so funny as well, yeah. March the 8th was the birthday of my girl. Not the woman I was with at that time, but the girl I was with like from 2013. Hilarious. But I knew who she was at that time because she went to my church. It's funny to see this life. But yeah, so March the 8th now I get a call saying, yeah, they're ready for you, blah, blah, blah. You have to come to court now. Like, this is the day, like, where everything's going to go down, sentencing, everything. If it gets to that, cool. My lawyer now calls me and says, oh, yeah, like, the courts have called me. They say you should come now. I was like, yeah, they called me too. So I was like, I only had like an hour to get there. Luckily, the train was coming out straight away to get to my yard. It was only like 3 stops on train, but if I took bus, myth. Took train there, went to get ready because this time ain't nobody catching me in court slipping, wearing raggedy clothes. Got ready, whatever. I'd called my mum and told her she was leaving work to come through. She called my auntie to come and pick me up from yard to drive me to the place because obviously I wasn't gonna make it. Cool. As I'm driving, my auntie was taking me and she prayed and like she was like, "How am I feeling?" And I'll tell you lot now, that day I felt the most peace that I'd ever felt. Remember I told you all the time leading up to that I felt so mad, like I was going down, but that day the peace that filled me, crazy. She was like, God, go with God. I was like, yeah, amen. Went into the court, yeah, went through security, whatever, whatever. And you know, in the court, innit, there's not just one courtroom, there's bare courtrooms in the court, innit. So I get past security, I'm in the hallway now. I see my lawyer coming up to me smiling. I'm like, what? She holds out her hands and she hugs me. and she says they dropped the case.